So I'm going to actually introduce the next speaker now. We have Mark Takefman here. And Mark has worked in business development and admin for over 40 years and been an organizational development consultant in the citizen sector, which means the nonprofit sector, in Canada, the US, India, China, and Uganda for over 2 decades. He sat on community service committees and boards in Canada and the US, as well as being an active volunteer for many other organizations. And I am going to pass it on to Mark at this point. I'm excited to hear about how you've crafted your climate conversation.
Okay, I'm going to have to share my screen. Hold on. Okay, we shared? Yeah, okay. So, Fichelle and I arranged a kitchen table and we had a very interactive discussion. And after that, it took about an hour. After that, I had called him up about a week later. We communicate with each other on WhatsApp and we discussed what happened and what the parents wanted to do. And we decided that the school needed an environmental or sustainability curriculum, and we were going to create some lesson plans for the school. So we are meeting on a weekly basis to develop this. And people have been sharing lesson plans and ideas. Anne has already shared stuff with me, and I've been doing that with him. And this is an ongoing process. So when I said in my breakout group that I'd like to see something happen from this. It's already happening, and I'm very excited to say we are planning to have our first lesson plans implemented in July. So that was the first one I did. The second one I did was with this woman on the left, Chanchel Taillon. This is how I knew her when I first met her. In the desert in Rajasthan, it's so hot. When you're riding a scooter or a bike, you have to protect all your skin. So I had a Zoom meeting with her on the bottom right, and we talked about many things. I showed her the same PowerPoint presentation and the same videos. Her husband works for the CSR company, and so she wants to do something too, but I'm still following up with her to see what she's going to be doing. So let me go to the next one. I have to do this manually. So one of the things I was asked to talk about was, well, what were some of the cultural considerations I had to do? So the first one I told you, it's called a climate floor conversation. Second one I had to talk about was the federal government in India is not that kind to people who are advocating for climate change or anything to do with that. So they're aggressive. So I advised Vishal to keep his profile low. Also, the local area, there's a lot of pollution from fabric industry in Balotra, also to keep his profile low. So we're going to start off with just the 3 R's. There's about 150 students in the kids, and they are ages 6 to 8, a few outside of that. We also were going to make sure that the parents and the teachers were buying into the whole program because they're the ones that support what the kids do. So if we teach the kids in school and they go home and their parents are not following the same rules, what's the point? Other challenges that we talked about was the city doesn't do any recycling or any garbage in any pickup in any major way. There's no products or produce that are sustainable or organic. The community there is not used to thinking about environment or sustainability or being green. It's just a poor community in the desert trying to hold their heads above the water, if I may say that. And the climate crisis has not hit home to them, even though they are feeling effects. One of the effects they feel, and I felt when I lived there, was temperatures above 55 degrees, which I can assure you is not very comfortable. So, um, if we have questions later, I'd be glad to take them. You can please feel free to write me, look at my website. This is basically what I'm doing with Gyandisha School.
Thank you, Mark. So yes, wonderful. Great to hear about an initiative that is quite ambitious and quite rewarding.